everybody, welcome back to Ozark Mountain Goats. I'm out here in the cheese room, and used to be our vegetable room where we'd clean vegetables when we'd bring them in. It used to be a wine making room when I used to make a little wine. I don't make much wine anymore. So what I want to do is show you what we've turned it into, and I think what I want to do is just kind of show you what I did out here, or we did, and give you an idea of what I'm going to be up to this year. When I first started making cheese, I was doing it in the house. And then last year, I did it out here, but on a limited amount on hot plates. And so this year I've completely changed things around, bought a few things that I wanted to try out this year. I've seen other people do it. They give me advice on it. And so that's what I want to show you today. First, we're going to start over there and by the sink area, and then we'll just go completely around this thing and kind of show you what we've done. Okay, right now what I've got my some of my milking equipment in here. I'm cleaning it up and getting it ready for the year. Right here is my pasteurizer. I've used it exactly 0 times because we don't pasteurize the milk unless it's asked of us to do so if we sell some. Anyway, then I put this little heater in here, this hot water heater. This thing does all we need to do for our hot water in here. We bought this old dishwasher, and it was in pretty good shape. The latch was messed up, and I bought a new latch, put it in it, and it works great. So I think we spent $50 on it and plumbed it in, and it works good. And the water heater takes care of it very well, so no problems there. Now this triple sink here, I picked up years and years ago. It was kind of salvage, and picked it up, cleaned it up, and have reused it ever since. Now I want to show you this little thing. Anybody that makes Chev will know what this is. Basically, if you're wanting to wrap your cheese in cheesecloth and hang it, I put this plant hanger up here, and it swivels in and out of the way, and it can drip down in the sink, and I don't have to worry about trying to hang it over something or whatever. Anyway, so I got this area ready to go for this year. Okay, on over here, I got my shelving so I can keep my extra stuff on it, knives, cheesecloth, automatic mixer. I got this stainless cookie sheet here for, if I want to slice cheese, if I want to put it over where the presses are to catch whey. It does a real good job. So I got 2 refrigerators here. This one here I use for, say, making blue cheese or whatever. And I have a controller up here right now. The controller is set on 32 degrees. But when I'm doing, say, blue cheese, I'll raise that temperature up quite a bit. This one here is just my cheese cooler. This is my cheese cave for aging my cheese in. So I'm going to move over here to this table now. This is a hot plate that I use for when I'm getting ready to take my cheesecloth and I want to sterilize it. I'll put some water in there and go ahead and boil that. This pot, come up here, Joe, and let me show. I have a strainer in here, and I will keep this warm. I will put hot, warm whey on the bottom of this. That way I can put my cheese in here and I can cheddar it. over here, this was a big container I had for making wine at one time, and it would hold a lot. It stood up about yay high, had a drain on it, but I cut it off, and I've got this 5-gallon cooker here that I use for making cheese in, and I used that last year, but my addition to this now is my sous vide that I put on here. It's a 1200 watt, and in the bottom of this was an old sink. I don't know what you call them.
Drainer. That sit down inside of a sink.
Yeah, they fit down inside the sink. It was a little too big, and I had to cut the corners off, and I ground them, and it's stainless, so it sits in the bottom, and then that way it gets good circulation underneath it, and it's set up with a drain, so I can put my water on the outside, heat it up, and then when I'm done, I want to empty the tank, I can just turn the valve on and dump it into a 5-gallon bucket, and there you go. So we'll go right over here now. This is some of my old winemaking stuff that I rarely use anymore, although I'd like to make this year with the whey that's left over. I would like to try making what they call blonde, and it's a Scottish wine. I believe it's Scottish. Anyway, I would like to try that this year, and I may. Then I think in another video we've showed you the little air conditioner we put in here, and it works pretty good. This here is for winemaking, was my corker. I have a bigger one out in the barn, but I never did use it that much. I just used the little one. This here is an automatic bottle filler, and you put your bottle in here, like this here, and you do that, push the button down, and it will fill up, and when it senses the water or the wine in this area here, it automatically shuts off. It's a pretty cool thing. That I hardly use anymore. Next is a apple press that I made probably 20 years ago, and we have yet, I think we've only used it one time. Ain't that crazy? I thought at one time I would use it for grapes, to crush them, and but I never did, because number one, I had a big crusher destemmer out in the barn, and if I ever need it again, I have it, but who knows. Anyway, to my middle here. This is my pressing table. I've got 3 of these presses. They're called Dutch presses, and I made 3 of them. Got 1 down there as an extra, and 2 up here. And here's what I was talking about as far as drainage. It fits well underneath here. And these things work out really good for me. Back over here where we started is where I did testing for wine stuff, and check on acidity, check on how much stabilizers in it, that type of thing. But now I can use it for other things. I got about 3 or 4 microscopes that I can set up here and use them in however I want. Anyway, I wanted to just kind of show you what we've been up to, what's going on, and I'm excited to get the goats in milk this year, start getting some cheese going, and I'm hoping this is going to be a good year. I've got my cheese, cheddar cheese, down to where the taste is just right where I want it. Now I'm just going to work on texture this year, and if I can get that where I want it, I'll be set to go. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys get back to what you're doing, and we got a winter storm coming. We're supposed to get 6 to 12 inches, and that's kind of unusual for us here southern Missouri. But anyway, so I got a few things I need to take care of. So anyway, until next time, we'll catch you later.